my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So first and foremost, thank you so much for tuning into today's reading and for being a part of my energetic space. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to be conducting this reading about your immediate future. So I'm talking about within the next days, the next 1 to 2 weeks max. So in order to help you figure out what is going on and how to best deal with life, I have prepared 4 groups, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So how it works is that you pick one of these 4 crystals, whichever one that resonates the most with you, and then you go down into the description box or into the comment section where I have pinned the timestamps that will take you to your reading. And I get asked quite a lot if it's okay to choose multiple groups, which it of course is. If you feel drawn to multiple stones and you cannot make up your mind, then that may be because your personal reading right now in this moment is a mixture between multiple groups. So don't shy away from tuning into multiple readings if you feel like that is what resonates with you and that is what your soul is just called to do. So the 4 crystals are as follows. We have the white Aragonite, we have the sodolytic blue quartz, we have the smoky quartz, as well as the rose quartz. But as already mentioned, you can find the timestamps down below in the description box or pinned to the comment section. So yeah, guys, I don't want to spend a lot of time in the intro. I would rather spend more time within your individual readings. So I'm going to be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the white Aragonite, and to all my other gorgeous groups. I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the white Aragonite, group number 1, which is an excellent stone for cleansing as well as detoxing. So it may be that you're in need of a spiritual cleanse or detox, and that is the underlying reason why you chose this stone, but you may have also just liked its aesthetic. Either way, let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what's happening in your immediate future. So I have 3 cards prepared, and the rest I'm just going to be pulling and laying intuitively as usual. So we have Orphaned, we have the 6 of Wands, as well as Serendipity. So one thing that I see here within your reading is overall that these next few days and weeks are going to be filled with serendipity and kind of like a good time, better than you have felt in the past weeks, okay? So you're getting onto kind of like a better plateau of just feeling more yourself and maybe just less anxious, less depressed, whatever it is that you usually struggle with. But one thing that I see in Orphaned is the fact that you maybe kind of feel out of place, okay? In your immediate future, you're going to feel kind of like the odd one out, okay? You're gonna kind of feel a little bit as though you're maybe like always different, okay? You're always the one who is kind of different. You're always the one who does things in a very unconventional way, and it just shows. You feel like you haven't quite 100% found your tribe and you're still looking for it, but overall that is not putting a damper to your mood. It's not putting a damper to the serendipity that is coming into your life, which is basically just good luck, blessings, and just kind of like immediate gratification, if you will, when it comes to projects and certain things that you're working on. So definitely enjoy this energy in your immediate future. Enjoy the fact that yes, you may not feel like you 100% belong, but it's okay to feel that way. And it doesn't mean that it has to put a cloud over all of the good that is coming your way. Especially in the 6 of Wands, we have kind of like a lot of ideas coming towards you, you almost being like flooded with fun ideas, and that is one thing that is keeping you balanced and keeping you safe. Just creating and coming up with new adventures that you can start in your life. So we have the dog spirit as well as the electric eel spirit. So one thing that I see here in the electric eel spirit is the fact that in your immediate future, you're bringing your ideas to life. So you're finally going to start that painting. You're finally going to, complete that journal entry that you've kind of been procrastinating or telling yourself you were going to do, but you did not end up doing it. So one thing that I see here is that you're finally going to get around to do those things, and it's going to feel good. In the dog spirit, I see here that, you're going to come back to your roots of being loyal to the things that you love and the things that you know bring you joy and just kind of inner peace, if you will. So that deep-seated inner peace is something that will not only make you feel good, but also the people who are around you, the people who you come in contact with. They're going to feel that you're kind of like in a place where you are who you're supposed to be, and just being engaged in creative ventures that make you feel balanced, it just shows, okay? You just kind of have this radiance. Your skin is going to be doing better than it has been in the past weeks, okay? It's going to be more glowy because your mood is having an immediate effect on how your body is doing and how your body expresses itself. Then we have Temperance, we have the Wheel of Fortune, as well as the Knight of Pentacles. So one thing that I see here is that it's important for you in the Temperance card to make sure that you're practicing just being, how should I say, a little bit more in control of things that are not healthy. So it could be foods that are unhealthy, alcohol, any other types of drugs. It could also be just like a vicious mental cycle, okay, that just starts all over again as soon as you feel triggered. And in the Knight of Pentacles, I see that that may have to do with somebody in your career, or just somebody who puts a lot of emphasis on your career. So this could be, for instance, your mother, your father. It could be siblings or close friends who just don't quite understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, or what your aspirations are, or they may almost feel like your aspirations are wrong. So group number one, I want you to not kind of sweat the small stuff and not feel triggered by that, to just kind of like begin the wheel again, okay? We have the Wheel of Fortune, which can indicate like kind of new fruitful beginnings, but it can also be an indication of things just happening over and over again in the same cycle, in the same kind of how should I say, circular motion. And what I want you to know in the Knight of Pentacles is that the best way to just not get triggered by certain people and certain things that they say is for you to either stay away from them, or just really focus on your practice of breath work, focus on your practice of meditation, yoga. Maybe you like to spend time in the nature, and just really spend that time to reflect and to kind of intensify this feeling of control when somebody is testing you, or somebody is doing things, saying things that they know is not going to go down well with you. Because if you don't have control over yourself, then you give everybody else control over your emotions and your reactions. So that is one thing that I see you working on. That is one thing that I see you not wanting to let somebody be able to do to you any longer in your immediate future. Then we have Mending, as well as Why. So I see you asking a lot of questions as to, you know, why you are the way you are, why certain people in your life have done certain things to you or continue to treat you a certain way. So that could be immediate family or friends. And in Mending, I see that in the immediate future, the fact that you're more in control of your emotions and you're not really going to let anybody trigger you like that, I see that that brings space for the situation to be mended, for the situation to come to a point where everybody is kind of like just happy and content, and you can express how you feel without your emotions taking over. And then we have the Chariot, as well as the Seven of Pentacles. So I see you moving into taking care of your career, your earthly affairs, you know, spending time like really cleaning up your space. And in the Chariot, I see that, you know, there are different ways in which you can make that time pass by quickly, yet still in a way how you're being in the moment. So if cleaning is not necessarily your favorite task, but you know you have to organize, you have to tend to your earthly belongings and just show them some love, show them that, you know, you're grateful to have them. One thing you can do is, you know, turn on music, listen to a podcast while you're doing all of these things, and just remind yourself how grateful you should be to have the opportunity to even clean these things, take care of these things. Just think to yourself how many people aren't fortunate to have, for instance, the clothes that you've been needing to wash, or, you know, the roof over your head that harbors all of these chores that you need to do. A lot of people would be grateful to have the opportunity opportunity to do these chores if it meant that they were able to utilize all of the earthly things that you most likely own. You know, if you're able to watch this video, then you're already in a very fortunate part of humankind, and it's something that I feel like we need to constantly remind ourselves of and be grateful for. So I see those kind of emotions arising within the next days, you know, maybe even just within the next hours of watching this video, and I just see a very deep-seated, deep-rooted, newfound thankfulness for your life, which is beautiful, group number 1. So embrace that energy in your immediate future. So group number 1, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I just want to express my gratitude for you being here with me today. So thank you so much for being a part of this reading, part of my spiritual practice, and wherever you are in this world, I hope that you're staying safe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the blue quartz, group number 2, which is a gorgeous gem. Nice choice. So I want to get into your reading to figure out what is happening in your immediate future. So I have prepared just 3 cards, and the rest we're going to be doing intuitively as usual. So we have the Fates, the 6 of Pentacles, as well as the never-ending story. So one thing that I see here in the 6 of Pentacles is kind of like earthly balance and bliss. So things are moving into a better spot for you financially. Things are moving into a better spot for you just when it comes to the earthly belongings and possessions that are in your life. So this leads me to feel as though, you know, what is meant to be yours is going to come to you within these next days and, you know, 1 to 2 weeks. That is one thing that I see here in correlation to the Fates. The Fates is all about just having faith that what is meant to be yours will be yours in due time, and what was never meant to be a part of your life is just something that you can't force, that you can't make happen, but it's best that it's not a part of your life. So you may be really sad that a certain relationship didn't work out, or a certain job interview, for instance, didn't come back in a way how you desired for it to come back. Maybe even not being able to kind of purchase the things that you like, you know, the home that you like, the car that you like, certain clothing items. But I want you to know that those things are going to come to you when the time is right. So maybe you're not quite ready. Maybe you're financially not quite ready, mentally not quite ready. Even though you feel like you are just not meant to be in that space at this particular time. So one thing that I see here is just kind of like that it might put you into a spiral where you feel as though, like, what am I gonna do to finally get to a space where I have all of the earthly belongings that I desire? So while things are kind of like solidifying themselves and you're getting the things pushed into your life that you're supposed to have, it may still not feel like it's enough. So I want to give you a little warning, group number 2. It's important for you to know that just being happy with what you have right now is the formula for, you know, long-term happiness is what I'm trying to say. So if you're not happy right now with what you have, then you're most likely not going to be happy when you accumulate even more earthly things, okay? Being grateful and thankful for what you have right now is a practice that is very important for you to engage in. And furthermore, I also don't want you to freak out and feel like, okay, if what I'm meant to have is in my life right now, it's really not what I wanted out of life or expected. I want you to know that nothing is set in stone, okay? You can always change and revamp and just further your spiritual and just mental education, your financial education, to get you to places where your life and you are ready for more earthly responsibilities and just more things in your life that are material, that might make your life easier, more enjoyable, or just more fun. So then we have the panther spirit, we have the brown bear spirit, as well as the parrot spirit. So we have really beautiful animals that are speaking about your immediate future. In the parrot spirit, one thing that I see is that it's important for you to watch your words, okay? In your immediate future, you're going to kind of encounter some discussions with people where you can really hurt their feelings if you don't watch your words, and you're not going to kind of realize how you're spiraling them back into this never-ending story, into this spiral of self-doubt and not feeling good about themselves. So know that your words are powerful, and even though you might like to be direct and honest, which is great, group number 2, keep in mind that the way you say things is very important within these next days and weeks. In the Panther spirit as well as the Brown Bear spirit, I see that the best way for you to reclaim your power as well as re-energize yourself is just to take a time out. That is exactly what the Brown Bear spirit is about. You know, take those naps, take that rest, just sleep for as long as you need, because sometimes we have a lot of things from the past that we still need to heal from that we never got the chance to do. You know, we never got the chance to take that time out. So it is up to you to reclaim your power to do so. It is up to you to set boundaries between how much time other people can take up in your life and how much time that you're dedicating towards, you know, revitalizing and re-energizing yourself. So then we have the Ace of Cups that just jumped right out of the pile of cards to speak directly to you about your immediate future. In the Ace of Cups, I see the possibility of a new romance or just a new platonic connection, you know, just overall a new connection emotionally that can put you in a different headspace and just make you feel differently about life and love and where you're going in regards to that. In the Tower, I see that this connection is going to challenge everything that you've known so far, everything that you believed in, everything that you thought to be true up until this point when it comes to love and friendships, because they're just going to kind of like teach you not to give up and to believe in the greater good of other people as well as humanity in general. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So in the Wheel of Fortune, one thing that I see here is just that this Tower situation isn't going to last very long. So I want you to know that the Tower is all about kind of like destruction. Like I said, they're going to challenge your worldview, and your worldview is not going to be the same. Your old worldview is going to be shattered, is going to be completely broken, and you're going to build your new view of the world upon this foundation where you have learned more about other people and learned more about who you are emotionally. But it's not going to be a very long process. It's going to be pretty quick, pretty straightforward, because you're just going to understand, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to adjust my belief system in order to make sure that I'm living in alignment with who I truly am at the core, and that's just going to be that, okay? It's not going to be a big, profound thing. It's going to be a quick, easy, simple change that is going to bring a lot of value to your life. Then we have the World. So group number 2, the World is arguably kind of the most favorable card of the tarot. The World is all about fulfillment. It's all about just things coming together in a way how you've always wanted it to come together. So look forward to that in your immediate future. You're going to feel a bliss, bounty, and like things are really moving in a positive direction that you've always wanted. Then in Orphaned, one thing that I see is kind of like conflict at the same time with where you belong. So you're not quite sure where you belong in this lifetime. You've always felt like the odd one out. You've always felt kind of like the weird one, the one that didn't have a tribe or a squad or a big group of friends, whatever it is that you want to call it. So those are kind of like emotions that I see you going through, as well as in the Unfinished Symphony, just like the fact that you know there's still a little bit of unfinished business emotionally, a little bit of unfinished trauma when it comes to being the odd one out, or just kind of like the fact that you're still dealing with it even in your adulthood, is just something that you know needs to be looked at. You know you have to just complete this symphony, as we have here in the Unfinished Symphony, in order to get to a place of just peace and knowing that you don't need to belong to a group or a squad. You belong in this world, on this planet, just like everybody else in your own way. You're maybe meant to have fewer friendships, fewer connections that are deeper and more authentic, rather than being in a situation where you're dealing with peer pressure, or you kind of just need to adjust who you are and almost kind of fake it, okay, in a group, just to make sure that you belong and that you don't end up being the odd one out. That is just not meant to be, and I see more realizations of that surfacing for you, group number 2. So group number 2, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of today's reading. I am sending you so much love as well as positivity wherever you are in this world. If you made it to the end of this video, then make sure that you leave a little house emoji down below just to kind of solidify that message and speak it into existence, that you do belong and that you have a place in this world, even though, you know, that place might not be the conventional place. So group number 2, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated with you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Smoky Quartz group number 3, which is a stone that helps clear out negativity as well as any kind of like unwanted energy. So that may be something that you have subconsciously been feeling, and that is why you felt drawn to the stone, but you may have also just liked it for its physical appearance. Either way, let's get into your reading. I have just 3 cards prepared, and the rest I'm going to be shuffling and laying right before your eyes, just because I find that a more authentic way to read. So we have flexible, the Ace of Pentacles, as well as poised. So one thing that I see here in your immediate future is the fact that you have a great opportunity coming towards you when it comes to your career and when it comes to just like the material realms of your life. So of course, you know, spirituality is not about material things, but this world that we live in is filled with that, okay? And it is not a bad thing, because one thing that I see here in flexible is just the fact that you're able to be a part of the spiritual world as well as the material world, but not lose yourself in either one of them. And you understand the importance of both of them, and the importance of, you know, just the fact that leading a normal or comfortable life just comes in this form with material possessions. So in the Ace of Pentacles, I see a great idea for you to make life easier. So it could be either kind of like a new job opportunity that is going to give you more financial stability, just a business opportunity of how you can start or elevate your entrepreneurial journey. And one thing that I see here in poised is just the fact that the world feels as though you're somebody who is very effortlessly elegant, very effortlessly yourself. So I see just like a very strong connection to who you are, and knowing the difference between what is just material and what does not necessarily have a spiritual or very emotional value to you, but it still makes life nice and it still gives you comfort. Knowing the difference between that and just like the fact that you don't necessarily need those things. You can also live without. Knowing the difference between, you know, clinging on to material things and material things just being a nice addition to your life. I see that having a big impact on your aura these next days and weeks. So we have the World as well as the Ace of Cups. So arguably, the World is one of the most favorable cards within the tarot, and that is because the World is about ultimate completion, happiness, satisfaction. And I see here in the Ace of Cups that that may be because a new opportunity for romance is coming into your life, or kind of like a renewed love if you're already in a relationship. So just figuring out how to communicate better, how to express your love language, how to nurture the person that you're with and learn about their love language, and just overall kind of building community and connections that make you feel like you're not missing anything in life. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So in the Wheel of Fortune, one thing that I see is the fact that, you know, things are kind of going to be going a little up and down in the immediate future. So while you have this moment of complete satisfaction, bliss, feeling like everything has just come together beautifully, I also see you going through some phases where you're asking yourself if you're ever going to be happy, successful, just, you know, all of those fears that have been in your head and in your mind for a while. I see those kind of bugging you a little bit every now and then. Then we have the Six of Cups. So we have the immediate remedy for that, group number 3. The remedy for those things that are bugging you is just to stay in touch with the people who make you feel good. And if you feel like nobody in your life gets you right now, if you feel like an outsider or very alone, then know that there are so many communities, especially online, where you can meet amazing people. I have met some of my closest friends online, you know, people who I have never met in person just because of the geographical challenge, the distance, but we FaceTime, we, you know, text each other, we phone each other, we speak to each other, we connect on a very intimate and just amazing level where we both love and respect each other and just want the best for one another. And I want you to know that that is also a great place to connect on the internet with like-minded people. So just know that your tribe is not necessarily always there in the traditional form. Your tribe is not always people that you've known from middle school or high school or, you know, your job. Your tribe can be in a totally different area of this world and your life. So don't worry about that. It's not weird. I feel like a lot of people are shifting to having a feeling of community and of finding people who they really resonate with through, you know, modern technology. Then we have the Panther Spirit. So in the Panther Spirit, one thing that I see here is an increase in stability of your power, your personal power. You don't feel so powerless anymore in the presence of somebody who used to make you feel insecure, inadequate, or not very lovable. And that can be something really difficult to go through, especially if it's family, if it's immediate family, or if it's, you know, a lover, somebody that you're romantically interested in, and they kind of make you feel worthless or like you're nothing or like you're not good enough or like you're weird. For instance, if you're somebody who is very into sustainability, or for instance, you're very into just empowering animals, women, just other people, other species, and maybe your immediate family or friends does not understand why you would spend so much time engaging in that, or why you would change your life so drastically through, for instance, becoming a vegetarian or, you know, becoming a vegan, why you would do that. And you are reclaiming your power. That is one thing that I see. I see that in your immediate future, you are like, I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. I'm not going to let that drag me down or make me feel like I am not worthy, or like I'm not supposed to be here, or like something is wrong with me. There is no reason why I should feel that way. And it's true, group number 3, there is no reason why you should feel that way. So that is why the Panther Spirit has showed up, because you are reclaiming your personal power. Then we have the Dog Spirit, group number 3. And the Dog Spirit, one thing that I see here is just like your loyalty always lying with what is the most authentic you. So if the most authentic you is, for instance, engaging in activism, engaging in causes that help the environment, I see here you just being loyal to that, because that is what you love, that is what inspires you, that is what makes up such a big, beautiful part of you, and not feeling embarrassed about it anymore, not feeling as though like you need to hide it or like you need to justify it. You're not doing that anymore, and that's an amazing vibe, group number 3, because in my opinion, I feel as though you should either distance yourself from people who make you feel bad, and if it's immediate family and that isn't possible, or it's just going to cause more of a stir, just learn to emotionally distance yourself. Learn to let any kind of negative comments or comments that are questioning who you are, just let those kind of like fly over your head, and just remain grounded in who you are, and don't let anybody get you out of, you know, you're out of character. Don't let anybody make you act in a way how they can just then say, ha, look, you're like a crazy environmentalist, or you're a crazy vegan. I said it, you guys are all crazy. And you know, that will just kind of like validate their point, even though you're just passionate about it and you just kind of want to tell them, no, this is actually how I feel. Don't bother getting too passionate or emotional. If somebody's truly interested in figuring out why you live your life a certain way, why you believe in certain things and do things in certain manners, then they're going to calmly ask you and talk to you. Then they're not going to try to get that out of you through just kind of making comments that are borderline picking on you, okay? So I see you kind of distancing yourself from that. That is probably why you chose the Smoky Quartz, just kind of a big distance between you and emotional negativity. Then we have No Place Like Home. as well as round and round. So one thing that I see here in your immediate future is just the fact that you feel as though, you know, your home is, for one, a very sacred space, but at the same time, you know, breaking some cycles, or for instance, procrastinating doing your laundry, procrastinating cleaning up, finally getting rid of, you know, old belongings, clothes, furniture that are no longer of use to you or just don't really resonate with who you are. So in No Place Like Home, I see home improvements coming. I see you making your home a space where you feel more sane and safe than ever before, and maybe even building a little altar where you keep your crystals, where you keep your sacred belongings and things that just make you feel so connected and grounded with who you are as a person, as well as your guides, your spirit. So group number 3, this is a reading that I received for you, and I would just like to thank you for being a part of today's reading and today's spiritual practice. And wherever you are in this world, I hope that you're doing amazing. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of vibes of abundance. Leave a little dog emoji down below if you made it to the end of your reading, and just, you know, as a little token of good luck and abundance. And I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Rose Quartz group number 4, which is just a stone that helps with emotional healing, especially when it comes to love as well as your self-worth. So that may be why you felt drawn to this beautiful stone, but maybe you just also liked its appearance. I mean, I'm not judging. Whatever it was, this is the reading that is meant for you. So I want to get straight into it with the 3 cards that I have prepared, and the rest of the cards I'm going to be laying and shuffling intuitively as usual. So then we have the Thinker, we have the 9 of Swords, as well as Co-Create. So one thing that I see here in connection to the 9 of Swords as well as the Thinker is just the fact that you have some things that are bothering you. You have some things that are kind of like making you feel like you don't know what your next steps are going to be. So you're spending a lot of time in deep contemplation. And the Thinker corresponds to the number 44. And the number 4 is a very stable number, but it is also the number of work, okay? It is the number of just kind of like rolling up your sleeves and putting in the work that you need to, and that just works beautifully with Co-Create. Just the fact that in your immediate future, in these next days and weeks, you are going to put in a lot of work in order to co-create with, you know, your guides, with what is already here. And you're just like thinking to yourself, okay, if I have these fears of, for instance, financial security, or for instance, cultivating more self-love and more confidence in order to have better relationships, what can I do? So you're proactively thinking of how you can find solutions. You're very solution oriented, and you're not so much just going to allow these kind of like nightmares, daydreams that aren't very pleasant. You're not going to allow them to take over your life like they have in the past. So you may suffer from anxiety or kind of some sort of, you know, body dysmorphia, something that just kind of leaves a big discrepancy between reality and just how your brain kind of like processes it and takes it. So that is not to judge you, of course, group number 4. All I'm saying is that you're finally kind of building that bridge towards like a new reality for yourself, and a reality that used to be a little bit, you know, more anxious or not kind of construed in a favorable way. So you may have created a mental reality that was very difficult to be free in, that was very difficult for you to express yourself in, because maybe you're worried about how other people will see you, will view you, what they will think about you and say about you. But now, you know, you're just freeing yourself from those kind of chains and shackles. So we have the hawk spirit, we have the hummingbird spirit, as well as the buffalo spirit. So we have 2 animals of the air. So if you are of an air sign, this may connect very deeply with you. If you're, for instance, you know, an Aquarius, a Gemini, I see here in the hummingbird spirit that it's important for you to be here in the now. You're a great communicator. you're somebody who knows how to kind of like tell good stories. People are captivated by you. People really like the way you speak, the way you articulate. And one thing that I see in the hawk spirit is that it's important for you to just be here in the moment and allow your guides to show you what is right. So if you, for instance, feel like being here in the moment means nourishing yourself with very nutrient dense foods, like, you know, salads with nuts and avocado and just like amazing kind of superfoods that are natural, then be here in the moment. Go to the store right now if you can, if it's safe wherever you live, and, you know, start getting those things, start cultivating more health if you feel like your guides and your body is pushing you towards that. And I want you to know here in the buffalo spirit that if you feel as though, okay, there is a blockage here, either there isn't that much fresh produce around you or it's not the right time for you to be going out and doing so, know in the buffalo spirit that the universe and the world is abundant. What you can also do is, for instance, start a vegetable garden, get some herbs, you know, just get a little planter that you can put in your space, or if you have a garden and outside space, look into how you can just kind of connect with the nature, grow your own produce, your own food, and learn more about the process of how much abundance is in this world, because things can feel really scarce, but when you're actually like literally growing things, literally cultivating more life in this world, you really do feel the abundance. You really do feel the fact that we do not live in a world of scarcity. We often just learn to adapt this mindset of scarcity due to modern society. So then we have a round and round as well as flexible. So that just fits so nicely with what we were just talking about. And round, I just see like you getting out of the rat race, you making a plan how to get out of the rat race, and just knowing that there's no point in living in this kind of like feeling of scarcity and feeling like there isn't enough. I see in flexible that you're okay with kind of like living with a little bit less for a little amount of time, maybe even a longer amount of time. It could be a few months, a few years, until you have figured out exactly how you're going to cultivate financial freedom and security, so you have more time for the things that you really want to be doing. Okay, so there is enough abundance in this world, but of course you're going to have to put in some work if you want to be able to get that material stability. So I see a lot of like ideas arising when it comes to that. And I see, you know, in the thinker, just you coming to a point where you're really ready to roll up your sleeves, put in the work that you need to, and co-create with spirit. So you never need to be in a position where you're worrying again about yourself, your own financial future, and, you know, maybe also the future of, for instance, a sibling of yours, a family member, a child, because a lot of us have a lot of responsibility. We're either taking care of other human beings or need to be able to take care of them if they're in need, or we're taking care of animals that 100% depend on us. So in order to just kind of like lift a little bit of that weight off of your shoulder, I see a lot of like thinking going on, a lot of plans on how you can co-create, which is amazing. Group number 4. And we have the 6 of Wands. So in the 6 of Wands, I see you also kind of like enjoying what you have. I see you kind of just having fun with the things that are in your life right now, having fun in the space that you inhabit, having fun with the people who are around you, inviting them over to, you know, just have a little just talk sesh, okay? And inviting them over could be even via like a Zoom call, a FaceTime call, just spending time with the people who you love via one of these material things that you have. So as I said, connecting through the phone, through the laptop, maybe inviting them to your actual home, cooking something together, just engaging in activities where you feel like you can connect. And the 4 of Pentacles just kind of solidifies the end of your reading, group number 4. So if you made it all the way to this point of the reading, leave a little cheetah emoji down below. I don't know if is there a cheetah emoji or like a tiger emoji? Either way, I want you to know here in the 4 of Pentacles, just kind of like more stability is coming towards you. So if you've been worried about your finances, know that the faster you can learn, the faster you can earn. It really is true. So in the thinker, you're already doing all the work that is important that you need to do. So just stay on track, okay? There may be people who have begun their life and their journey kind of like ahead of you, maybe because they have had other opportunities, another background, a different kind of upbringing. But at the end of the day, you can still get ahead if you put in the work and dedication every single day and you show up for your dreams. And that is one thing, that is one message that I want you to take with you along your journey, and not to get discouraged, because you're already making a great start in your immediate future when it comes to building like an amazing future that is still a little bit like ahead down the road, but it starts today. It starts in the present moment. So group number 4, thank you so much for being a part of today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it resonated with you. Let me know down below in the comment section what did, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.